Right, stocks. This is a weekly of KAZ. So we closed the week in selling mode, but we came in contact with the 50 MA. Well, the hammer might bar on the 50 MA on this daily. And let's just bear in mind this was a stock that not that long ago was 1700. Sorry, 170. So 2450 area here. If we close above, this is a UK stock. We start closing above this area here next week, I think we could do some sort of recovery. But it is that, it's got to be a recovery stock. So we gapped up, held up, looked as if we were going to hold the 50 MA, but came down below the bar. So the way in which we act around, you've got to stop the gaps up, particularly in report season. Just mark off the range of the bar and see where it ends up. So we're marginally above, now we're marginally below. So we get back into this area here, and I think we could retest at least 300. So that's what I'm looking for on that. It's a gap play, and 255 is the gap play area. So I want to see 255 before I enter. So if you've seen my main overall big picture video for the week ahead, you can see that the FTSE is really on an edge and lagging even the DAX, particularly the S&Ps. But if this Barclays can, okay, so we had a lot of selling off the 300 level, we're down to 235. If we hold here and start closing higher, I would buy that along there, because I think this is oversold. We've got extreme RSI, we're just dipping down again. What I don't want to do is try and pick a low and try and pick a bottom. So that's just on the watch list for now for me. And just looking across to the other US banks. Now that's just testing a hammer there. What interests me with the RBS is that we're at around 300. So start closing above 300, I will get interested. The most best looking bank at the moment in the UK is this one, HSBC, ticker HSBA. I think having closed above there, nicely above the 8, I think we'll at least get an obvious test of 600, possibly slightly lower, before looking as if we may go up to 630. Of course, this is in a downtrend, so if you're buying pullbacks, you are risking that reverting to the downtrend. So be aware of that if you're buying lows like that after a selling position. Be aware that could just fail at 605, a pivotal area, and then roll over and go below 590. And so let's look at the US. I've got a mixture of sectors and a mixture of longs and shorts here, obviously because I just need to see how this market's going to set up. So as far as scanning is concerned, just looking both ways at the moment. This digital river, DRIV, if we close up here, I think we could get a run up to perhaps even retest that star up there. So I'm keeping an eye on DRIV. I think we have seen, obviously Friday was triple witching, which tends to be low volume and choppy anyway. I'm seeing just a lot of reversal signals here, a lot of sell signals, obviously with the Nasdaq dropping like that. This is one that's potential short signal, that NJ. Bear in mind we had a reversal bar here, which got engulfed and then we legged up again. Only this time we're getting real divergent RSI here, and sometimes the markets do that. I've seen this where they have put in a hammer, a star, it gets engulfed, they put another one in, and then it works. But this star here worked quite well in July, pulled back, and then dropped quite hard. I do like shorting because you get quicker moves to the downside than you do to the upside. So this has got a habit of running up and shorting, running up, dropping, running up. Well, so far it's just this last leg here has run up well, but I think this is a possible candidate. So see what you think, NJ. BlackBerry is just at the moment rolling over, so I've taken a small loss on that one and it's going to stand aside. If we come down to 885 and hold, I may try again, but at the moment, yeah, not a great market. We'll stand aside. But just to give you an example of what I'm seeing, this is Applied Materials AMAT. You know, it's a lovely reversal bar up there with divergent RSI, so that the smaller time frames are sitting on pivotal areas, so that could just come down to 2000 hold. So I'm just going to leave that aside. If we look at Apple, yeah, Apple's just trying to hold here at 532, sitting on the 50 MA there. So we're going to get a decent move out of Apple, I think. We're going to get a direction out of Apple. Now the question is, where is it going? So if we tidy the chart up, let's look at the fibs first. So we rejected 50%, got 61.8 underneath us. So that's not telling us much. And we've got, so we had a box here moved up, and a box here moved up, but they're not particularly good moves, are they? So we came down here and held 525, closed above the 50 MA. That's, I'm just not clear about where that's going to go, so I am standing aside on Apple. I do like this one for short. This is Tyson Food, TSN, in the US. Very neat reversal bar, very high RSI. Great trending chart. It's taken a long time to get up there. This is February 4. We've gone from 354 to 423. I think that's it's a strong trending stock, so you might want to just give that one more day to see if that has got the capability of coming down. Other ones I like is LUV with strong, with oil potentially going to gain. Airlines traditionally come off, and so we've got a huge selling bar on Friday. So if we come back to 237 on LUV, and we see continued high oil prices, we could at least see 220 and possibly you know, the 200 come in and get retested on LUV. Okay, this is COG, an oil stock in the US. KBOT, oil and gas. Just interested in this. Obviously, it's had a lot of selling. Come off 420 down to 3, just around the 330. But there is decent support here. If we climb above 336, I would consider a long there, but we are in a downtrend, so low RSI, so just not interested here at the moment. It's on my watch list. This is FCX. Now this shot up. This is showing relative strength because it's pushed up in a weak market Friday. So if that holds 31,317, that could be a sign that we might want to W up and come back to these highs on FCX. Let's look at the other steel companies in the same, obviously in the same sector because they're all steel companies, and we've got United Steel. Very nice move off of there. So once we had a big bar up to 254. So this is what could happen to FCX. Get a pullback as we did here in X, and obviously FCX are miners, copper miners, copper and gold miners, where X is a steelworks, but they are linked, obviously. Let's look at the other steel companies. Oh, sorry, this is a copper miner, Southern Copper, not reacting as well as FCX. Sitting on that support, could, well, yeah, close above 278, and that could push up. So that's on my watch list. Sorry, when I was looking at X, I meant to show you a couple of the steelworks, STLD, and this one. Oh, this is STLD, sorry, and this looks good. This looks very good. So pull back to 1740 on a nice pattern like that could be a signal that may be willing to come back to the highs. So STLD is a nice move off of 165. So I would be interested in STLD at 1740. Okay, that's all I've got for you. But before we go, just got a couple of other bellwethers. But a lot of red across the board on Friday. You see, Google is just coming down to the 50 EMAs. That could just be a pullback area of consolidation. Goldman's very jumpy with a very weak close on Friday. FedEx, Bellwether pulling back to the 50 EMAs, so sideways. And Bank of America just pulling back after it had a good week, but that's just pulling back. So if we hold 173, that could return to the uptrend. All right, so I'm just waiting to see where these markets want to go, bearing in mind some of the extensions we've got in the weekly and the monthly indices charts. All right, so even in a weak market, obviously, good stocks will survive and do well. So I'm looking for relative strength or sell signals into that weakness on Friday to see if that is carried through on Monday. All right, join me at Traders Roundtable for 10 hot tips on how to be a professional day trader. Otherwise, I will bid you farewell and thank you for listening.